Do you like mysteries? To wander through the enigmatic mist of the inexplicable? Great. I'm Merc, and here you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to my domains. The truth dissolves into the mist.
Imagine an African night sky over the savannah. The horizon is dark, dense, charged with a tension that does not come solely from the atmosphere. There is something else there, something the ancients knew well. A name echoes among the trees and the villages, a name few dare to speak aloud when the storm approaches Akampeshimpeshi. In Zambia, among the Lamba people, rain is not merely water falling from the sky, it is a breached frontier. Above the celestial dome, they believe there exists a vast lake, a mass of water so immense that it sustains the very firmament. This lake does not spill onto the earth by accident. It is held back by a dike, a primordial dam, watched over by guardians chosen by Lisa himself, the supreme god. And it is these guardians, with their gleaming knives called imiel, who, by swinging them through the air, tear the sky with what we call lightning. But lightning is not a simple electrical phenomenon. For the Lamba, it is the physical manifestation of something far older and far more dangerous. It is the bridge. When lightning strikes the ground, something descends with it. The creature called Akampeshimpeshi travels, clinging to a long thread of spider silk, dropping from the celestial heights to the surface of the earth. Picture the scene. The blinding flash, the thunder that shakes your very bones, and then, in the smoke and dust, a silhouette rises. It is not a typical chimera. The creature has the head, the beard, and the horns of a goat, but from the waist down, its body transforms into that of a crocodile, with scaly feet and a powerful tail. It is a grotesque fusion, an error of nature, or perhaps an intentional design by forces we do not comprehend. A goat that crawls like a reptile, a being that belongs neither to the sky nor to the earth, but oscillates between the two. Most of the time, the Akampeshimpeshi returns to the clouds. The silk thread that binds it to the cosmos retracts, and the creature vanishes into the same veil of storm that brought it. But there is a flaw in this celestial mechanism. The thread can break. And when that happens, the Akampeshimpeshi is trapped, condemned to wander the world of men. And then, what was a distant mystery becomes a tangible nightmare. The Lamba. Describe the sound the creature makes when cornered. It is not a roar, nor a hiss. It is the cry of a goat, a high-pitched sound, almost human, that echoes through the darkness. But do not be fooled by this appearance of fragility. The Akampeshimpeshi, when fallen, is lethal. It does not merely seek to survive. It represents an immediate and brutal threat to the entire community, because its fall is not an accident. It is an omen. Think about what this means for a culture that depends on rain to survive. Rain is life, but the lightning that accompanies it can bring death personified. When a lightning bolt strikes a tree, the Lamba avoid it as if it were cursed. They believe the wood retains the spirit of the creature, carrying a residual power that can bring misfortune to those who dare to use it for fire or shelter. The touch of the Akampeshimpeshi contaminates the physical world, and the only way to purify it is through hunting. When the web breaks and the creature falls, the men of the village organize. They cannot hesitate. They follow the trail left by the lightning, the mark of the creature's descent. But going after the Akampeshimpeshi is not a task for fools. The creature possesses deadly powers. A single blow from its tail or a charge from its horns can mean the end. That is why, before setting out, the hunters seek special protection. They need the obwanga huayamina, a protective medicine that makes them immune to the creature's fury. Without this potion, the hunt is suicide. And here lies the true horror of the story. The Akampeshimpeshi is not a demon that came to corrupt souls. It is an accident. It exists because the guardians of the dike are, sometimes, children. Yes, according to Lamba mythology, Lisa occasionally appoints children to watch over the celestial reservoir. And what do children do? They play. They make holes in the dike, and the water escapes as rain. They are responsible for the storm that plagues the earth. And when the guardians, be they children or adults, wield their knives to repair the dam, the gleam of those blades creates the lightning. The Akampeshimpeshi is a consequence, a byproduct of childish chaos in the sky. Could the creature that descends on the spiderweb be merely a reflection of our own imperfection, a cosmic error that falls upon us when the balance breaks? The Lamba have no doubts. For them, the appearance of the Akampeshimpeshi is a sign that something is terribly wrong up there, and the only solution is to destroy the evidence of that error before it destroys everything they know. The hunt for the Akampeshimpeshi is violent and merciless. When the community locates the creature, they surround it. There is no negotiation, no exorcism. There is only the slaughter. They attack it en masse, using all available means, until it is dead. And then, to ensure no trace of it remains, they burn it. The ashes scatter to the wind, and the threat is, at least for now, eliminated. But the question remains, what if the thread breaks again? What if, in the next storm, it is not just a creature that descends, but something worse? There are accounts that the Akampeshimpeshi is not a single entity. Some versions of the legend suggest that there are many of them, hovering over the celestial lake, waiting for the opportunity to descend. Each lightning bolt that cuts the sky could be one of them traveling. Each thunderclap could be the sound of their claws scraping against the web. And if you look at the sky during a storm, and for an instant, between the flashes, you see a silhouette that is not a cloud, it may be too late to wonder what it is. The Akampeshimpeshi may already be descending, and perhaps, this time, the web will not break. Perhaps the creature will reach the ground intact, ready to hunt. The Lamba people live with this awareness. They know that the sky is not an indifferent void. It is a reservoir of dangers, guarded by beings who can be just as irresponsible as any human child. Lightning is not just light. It is the gateway to a nightmare, and the name of that nightmare is Akampeshimpeshi. The story of the Akampeshimpeshi is not just an isolated legend. It reveals a worldview where the sky and the earth are intrinsically connected by an invisible, yet fragile web. Each storm is a reminder that the cosmos is in a constant state of imbalance. And when that balance breaks, the result is not just rain or wind. It is the eruption of the supernatural into the real world. It is the moment when mythology becomes a matter of life and death. Have you ever stopped to think about how many cultures around the world have similar stories? Creatures that descend from the skies during storms, brought by lightning or thunderbolts. Native Americans speak of lightning serpents, used as harpoons by thunderbirds to hunt whales. Elsewhere in Africa, there are storm spirits that wander the plains. But the Akampeshimpeshi is different. It is not a god, nor a benevolent spirit. It is an accident, an anomaly, and perhaps that is why it is so frightening. Unlike other mythical creatures that are feared and respected, the Akampeshimpeshi is simply something that needs to be eliminated. There are no rituals to appease it, no offerings to calm it. It is a celestial pest, a parasite that falls from the sky and must be burned before it contaminates the earth. This pragmatic, almost clinical approach makes the legend even more disturbing. There is no mysticism in the destruction of the Akampeshimpeshi. There is only survival. The hunters who set out to kill the creature carried the obwanga, bwayamba, the protective medicine. But what exactly is this protection? Is it a physical amulet, an herbal potion, or perhaps a secret knowledge passed down through generations? The details are vague, deliberately obscure. What is known is that without it, the hunter is doomed. The creature does not need to touch him to kill him. Its mere presence, its gaze, perhaps even its cry, can be fatal. It is an invisible, silent death that leaves no marks. And there is still the fate of the trees struck by lightning. The Lamba avoid them completely. They are considered to carry the spirit of the Akampeshimpeshi. Burning their wood would be like summoning the creature back, bringing misfortune to the home. This belief reveals a deep fear of contamination. The Akampeshimpeshi does not die completely when it is burned. Its essence can persist, hidden in the wood, in the ash, in the soil where it fell. It is a self-perpetuating cycle of terror. But what makes this legend truly fascinating is its connection to the phenomenon that, in the modern era, we call UFOs. Think about it. A creature that descends from the sky during a storm, traveling on a thread of light, and that is seen by entire communities before being hunted and destroyed. Modern reports of flying saucers and unexplained lights in the sky do not echo this same narrative. The Akampeshimpeshi is, in many ways, the UFO of African folklore, a celestial entity that visits the earth. But unlike the benevolent aliens of science fiction, it does not bring messages of peace. It brings death and must be exterminated. The Lamba people, however, do not see the creature as a visitor from another planet. They see it as part of their world, a piece in a cosmic puzzle that includes gods, playful children, and divine knives. The sky for them is not outer space. It is a dome, a solid ceiling over which an ocean exists. And above that ocean, guardians struggle to maintain order. The Akampeshimpeshi is a symptom of the fragility of that order. What happens then when order breaks down definitively? The legend mentions that the guardians' knives, the imial, must never fall. If they fall, the earth will be destroyed. This is the ultimate threat, the apocalypse in Lamba mythology. It is not a flood or a celestial fire. It is the fall of a knife. An apparently insignificant object that, if it touched the ground, would annihilate all existence. And the Akampeshimpeshi is directly linked to these knives. It is the reflection of their gleam, the shadow cast by their movement. Dub. When you hear thunder, the Lamba say it is the noise of the guardians beating their metal drums to repair the dam. When you see lightning, they see the flash of the knives being thrown. And when lightning strikes the earth, they know the Akampeshimpeshi has descended. Every element of the storm is explained by this complex and terrifying mythology. There is no room for science when tradition offers such a vivid and frightening narrative. And at the center of all this is the creature itself, a hybrid being that defies logic, a goat with a crocodile tail, a land animal that comes from the sky, an entity that cries like a ram but kills like a predator. The Akampeshimpeshi is the embodiment of paradox, a monster that does not fit into any category, neither divine, nor demonic, nor animal. It is simply an error. And errors, in nature, are corrected. But what if the Akampeshimpeshi is not an error? What if it is a messenger? Someone or something that descends to remind us that the sky is not a safe place, that there are forces beyond our control that can, at any moment, break the barrier between the spiritual world and the physical world. The hunt for the Akampeshimpeshi is not just about killing a monster. It is about restoring order. It is about telling the cosmos that humans are not passive victims. They fight, they burn, they survive. The legend of the Akampeshimpeshi is one of the best-kept secrets of African folklore. It is not widely known outside the Lamba communities, but those who know it carry a weight. The weight of knowing that during the next storm, when the sky lights up and thunder shakes the earth, it may not be just the weather that is changing. It may be the web breaking. It may be the Akampeshimpeshi descending once more. And you, when you look at the dark sky and see the lightning cut through the night, can you help but ask yourself, is it just electricity? Or is it that, somewhere in Zambia, the hunters are already preparing, with their protective potions and their spears, ready to face whatever is coming down? The Akampeshimpeshi may be just a legend, but legends, like lightning, often come with truths we prefer not to see. And the truth, in this case, is that the sky...
Did you like this mystery? And what is your theory? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, then like and share. I'm Merc, and I'll be waiting for you in the next mystery.